let's have a little look what we've got here. And 3 sign up so far. Here we go. Let's do a 6 or 7 before we begin the first session. 4 drivers so far, 4 different nationalities. It's quite nice. So, see how long till. Oh no, it's changed up to Red Bull. I think we'll just throw us in and start. I'll let this one just select his drive. So we've got 2 Netherlands drivers in there. Yeah, I think we're ready up. And we'll just get started. People can still join in as long as they are in a car by the end of qualifying. It'll automatically put them at the back of the grid, as we're definitely starting to load up now. As we've got a Frenchman, 2 Frenchmen joined us, Monegasque, Indian flag there. Hasn't been any British on the track at the minute, which is quite rare. But certainly better with more drivers, and 9 of us now, 10 of us now. There's another Finn joins. Oh, here we go, they're all joining now. They've got German driver there, Italian driver. Jeez, we're on 15 drivers. We've got another Dutch driver, an American driver, another Dutch driver, a French driver. We're up to pretty much a full session. Another French and an Italian. I think that's the same French driver, he just hasn't actually picked his car. We've got a full grid. Wow. First session, and it is a completely full grid, which I wasn't expecting. Certainly make it more interesting having a full grid for this. So, as the host and lobby host, I've selected 7 different races. They're 25% races with a 1-shot qualifying. So they'll all run back to back. We're quite lucky to have a full grid for race 1 in Bahrain, and the final race will be Abu Dhabi. In between there, got a couple of the classic circuits, along with a couple of those that I personally like. So it should be a good afternoon, and probably 3 to 4 hours worth of racing in total if I was to carry it all through, which I'm hoping to. Yeah, should be good fun. First race, what is it? Bahrain. Let's just get set up on and ready. And weather dry, as I have set it as dry throughout the entire 6-7 races. Yeah, it just makes it better when you're on the line, to be honest. Let's have a look. So 1-shot qualifying, no room for mistakes. It is set on strict corner cutting stringency as well, so if you do cut a corner, not only are you going to lose your lap time, but you haven't got another opportunity to go out and complete a lap. So you don't want to mess this lap up. So I do go in a little bit more cautiously when it is just 1 lap time that you can have. If you see 1 retire, could potentially have lost his lap time already, and then people do just tend to write the cars off when you're on line 1 shot. Another one there. So you'll see him pop up at the bottom, retiring or leaving session. Someone left session now. Another one retired. Majority of these are going to be either crashing out or invalidating times. With being such a big run-off area, I'd expect it to be invalidating times. Doesn't feel like a very fast lap either, and I've lost it as well. I will carry on if I can, just to put a time down, although not what I wanted to be doing. Will still put me in front of all those that are retired if I do put a time down, as it's still a valid lap. So it's still worth completing. Bit of a shame because I thought I was doing a fairly decent lap there. As we've got a load being disqualified now, someone else joining, he'll take one of the spare seats. People who've left session, no one disqualified. Wow, it's going to be an entertaining block of races. Yeah, 12th there, not ideal. Does mean we've got to come through the pack, but could be quite entertaining. Yes, even though we had a spin, someone else behind us obviously had a spin, or that might be their genuine pace on medium size. You don't actually know. It is a whole guessing game. But 12th certainly gives us a bit of work to do. Especially seeing as the pole time is around the time that I do tend to do, around the 126, 127 mark. So certainly should have fairly decent pace against majority of these in the session. But with it being online, you don't really know anyone unless you have someone you know join in. So it'll be quite interesting as we load up. Choose strategy. It's got to be a compulsory one stop minimum, and a change of compound due to being 25% race. There you go. So 7 and 7 is the strategy it gives, and there we go. Loaded on all the way down in 12th place for the start with a very full grid. Looks like the other Ferrari might actually be up on the pole or second. He's right up the front, and no formation up either. Right, let's try and keep it clean. That's not what you call keeping it clean. We'll back out of that.
That move was illegal. Return the position. Safety car, safety car. No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up.
5-second penalty for doing what? We've got a legal overtake for doing nothing, and he's glitching in and out. What are you doing? Now, I'm not actually sure if mediums will go to the end right now or not. That's a bit of hass, I think, getting thrown around. What I might well do is pit now straight away. What is going on with these guys? Do they not know how to drive under safety car? I was going to say he's going to have to let me back past. Drive through back there for Alex someone or other. Alex Mag in the Renault. I was going to say, you're not allowed to do that. Really? 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 I'm gonna box.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I'm going to set the 5-second penalty that I got for doing absolutely nothing wrong, where I got hit earlier. Got some teams ahead double stacking, some drive-throughs, some with 10-second penalties.
Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Go, go, go.
What a chaotic pit lane right now, as everyone chooses the medium tyre, which will take them to the end.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Very slow drive out there from Mr. No Hands, I'll call him, in front. Can't actually pronounce his name. Who's gone to hard tide to take him to the end, which is very odd. I mean, the latter stages as the medium drops off probably be very useful. But we'll just take it very steady on these safety car laps. Now, around us we're actually the only one without penalty as well. So, Mr. No Hands in front, 5 seconds. P11 sat there with 10 seconds of penalties. Haas behind, 5 seconds. The Alpha behind that, Watanen, has got a drive-through to serve, but you can only serve that when the track goes green. And that won't be until the safety car dives in, which I'd expect to be one further lap to this, looking how spread out the pack is at the minute. But the longer the safety car does stay out, certainly is in our favour now that we've jumped onto these medium tyres. As you see, a few more starting to take pit stops here. Actually quite a lot taking pit stops, so track position is going to be crucial, and it does ping us up into the top 10. Again, there's still penalties out there to be served. 5 seconds to the car in front. Obviously he's stuck in a train at the minute, so he's got that all to make up. 2 cars behind Watanen and Alex Mag. It's Alpha and the Renault respectively. Both got drive-throughs to serve on the restart as well. They will have 3 laps to serve those. And that'll drop them around 15 seconds to the pack. What is he doing? I'm going to pick a 5-second penalty for that, aren't I? Yeah, I thought I might. And that's
be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
Braking now. I was not expecting him to brake on a straight, must admit. Minor damage, but shouldn't affect anything on this track whatsoever. So I'd expect safety car could go again, to be fair. There's still cars haven't caught the pack, but will it come in or not? Safety car in. That's what we were looking for. So let's make sure these tyres are up to temperature.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. Okay, clear.
So we look at the Red Bull on the restart for a potential dive into turn 1. We'll let them take each other out, as long as it doesn't affect us. So we keep an eye on the Haas behind us through the test section. We won't be the quickest. as we do have a slight bit of front wing damage. So car in front has actually chosen the hard tyre, so he should technically be a bit slower. As we get a hit from behind, which is just no reason for. A little bit deep, make sure we don't quite catch that car in front. A couple of these guys behind are going to give us a bit of breathing space soon, as well as they dive in to serve penalties. I'm not sure if any of the guys up front did stay out through all that and stay on their original tyres. I'll be very surprised if they did, but as we go very, very, very deep. ...13-second penalty for the car behind now, so that's...
We're leading our teammate by 12.5 seconds.
Penalty, so not how he probably wanted his afternoon to start. So an absolute dive bomb there by the Renault on the house. I think Renault's falling back behind anyway. In fact, there seems to be someone getting smashed up behind that. And action in front as well.
Okay, the safety car is out. The safety car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
So we need to look after the tyres a little bit as we form back up. The Alpha that has pulled an absolutely astonishing lead there is on the softs. He is going to have to pit, and it might just about keep him in the lead. If it doesn't, it might have just wrecked his race. Also, P4 is also on the softs, probably from the start. Doubt they'll go to the end. So we'll probably imagine him to have to come box. Now I must admit I'm actually debating boxing myself onto soft tyres.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Right, come in at the end of this lap.
Yes, we've got a 5-second penalty and a wing change to happen, so it is going to be slow. But soft tyres to the end means a good little sprint. Won't lose as many places as half the grid seem to have pit once again. I would expect for the
now.
soft tyre. Why is it put me back on medium tyres? Very odd. Okay, well I got a new front wing out of it and a new set of tyres. So definitely can get to the end.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
It stopped us out of a podium position at that point, which is a bit odd. Seems though we did select soft tyres. A lot of people there are also using the 5 and 10-second penalties. There's obviously in the safety car then catch it up, and while everyone else is slowed down. So currently it's at P9, exactly where we were at the end of the last safety car period as well. So we come round onto the back straight and we'll join the safety car train. Car 2 behind, really not having fun out there with the strict corner cutting, but no, I will not change it if anyone requests it to be changed. The whole idea of it is to get rid of those that don't drive as well after the first or second race. Obviously I want the better drivers to be...
Give that position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake. Return the position. Return the position immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety car period.
Who the hell is Monu? He was behind me anyway. They do realise they can't serve drive-throughs at this point.
Give that position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake. Return the position.
On the upside, does mean some of these I should clear very, very quickly, because I think we've got 3 red X's in total in front. We're in P8, so that'll take us to P5 just by clearing them. More they're in AI, as long as they don't rejoin, but I highly doubt they will.
Return the position immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety car period.
Monmu, very close to getting disqualified back there on 26 penalties. Hit 30, you will be disqualified. So you can have either 1 5-second would disqualify him now, or 2 more 3-second corner cutting penalties, and obviously we're only halfway through the race. Don't know quite how anyone gets that many penalties for corner crossing. That's ridiculous. So there should be safety car in, yep. Excuse me.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
Can't overtake him till the
Green flag.
There we go. It's really, really annoying actually, because we actually had a really good start. Oh god, and that is why I do not like the ghosted cars. Again, ghosted cars don't go that bloody quick. Not when I set the AI at 50, I don't know. Hey ho, puts us into P4. I think there was an incident there as well, which gained us 2 positions. Try and get a little bit of slipstream from the car in front. Let's take the room down.
Battery charge is high.
DRS,
Let's use that overtake button more.
So if we can keep it clean, we have got a 5-second penalty to deal with. But I think I've got the pace to pull away 5 seconds and potentially deal with some of these in front. If we can get past AKA Magic, that would be very, very useful. I've done it once in this race. Could do with doing it once again. So we get the braking tone absolutely bang on that. Now I've got to pull away, get out of that 1 second DRS zone as well. See yellow flags again. Doubt they'll do another safety car. They might do a VSC. With a time delta, car behind picking up corner cutting penalty there as well, which is quite helpful for me. Gives me a little bit of breathing room. So we are now on the podium. Now car in front of Harry does seem to be slower than us as well, so wouldn't mind clearing him pretty smartish. So I've obviously got 5 seconds to go and gain to ensure that I'm in front of him. So potential P2 on here. I don't think I'm going to catch the race leader. He's on soft tyres and he seems to be pretty quick to be fair. nothing major going on behind either. It does look like
Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online.
The two Red Bulls behind do switch positions.
Okay, clear.
That is actually why there's penalties on the car behind now. It's not actually aka Magic that is behind us, like I thought before. It is his teammate who already had penalties, and there's just racked up a few more. So keeping aka Magic over 5 seconds behind, he's at 8.6 at the minute, would keep us on the podium. His teammate would not only have to pass us, but he would also need to get 6 seconds up the road, which just won't happen unless we had a major mistake now. So I think we'll just play this one safe, bring it home on the podium would be best result for the time being for this race, and then re-evaluate for the next one out. Deep into the last corner there. Thankfully Bahrain runoffs don't really cost you any time.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Definitely look like those Bulls are having a bit of a fight there. Oh, as we see, okay, Magic's overtaking his teammate, and then his teammate's been overtaken yet again by the Alfa Romeo back there. Now, the Alfa Romeo coming through is the Alfa that was in the lead until obviously he lost quite a substantial amount of time there under the safety car and to pit under the second time, which actually sort of put him on the back foot almost after such a good restart from the first safety car. He's actually, the other Red Bull has left the session. So we just had DRS down that last straight, so we are definitely closing the car in front again. But to get through, we're going to need a little bit more than that. Again, DRS open. For some reason we're not actually gaining. Team is giving it everything he's got. ERS will be on full. DRS again, sticking around that 8/10 mark. Just can't quite close him in. If I was going to get past, I wouldn't be doing it really this lap. So I am certainly not going to get a 5-second lead over him otherwise. Fair play though, he's doing exactly what he needs to stop me going through. See, we've got a 22-second gap now to the cars behind, so that's not the exit I needed out of that at all. By running wide again, still in that 8/10 window, 7/10, 8/10, jumping up and down. He's trying to break that DRS, but he can't quite break the 1 second barrier, as much as he does try.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
2 laps of fuel, that's fine, Jeff, thank you. Not much else we can do now. He's not realistically going to pick a 5-second penalty in front. We are 26 seconds clear, so these top 3 runners we've, well, just left the pack behind. which is quite nice. Might have to settle for third, which is a little bit annoying. Obviously did have a mistake earlier on and that 5-second penalty there. So even if we did get passed into P2, sadly it would demote us again, so I'm not going to fight too hard for it. Play it safe, bring it home, get 15 points. So we run very, very deep into there. Actually, that's the first time I've run deep into that corner. It's not a place I'd normally make a mess, to be honest. Personally, if I have an issue on the Bahrain circuit where it comes to crashing, it's where I had an incident in qualifying, which just here on this right-hander clipping the curb, it does tend to pull you in. There we go, penultimate time coming around the final corner as we have just one lap left. We've pretty much used up all ERS, all fuel.
This is your final lap of the race.
Yeah, judged it quite well actually, considering the safety car at the very early stages. Now 30 seconds ahead of the car behind. Not sure when he got his fastest lap, but he did bolt on some softs just for about 3 or 4 laps. I think it was purely to get fastest lap, but it's ruined the rest of his race. So very, very surprised there. Position change for P5, the fighting. Although Mercedes, who has just taken it, has 8 seconds of penalties, so you very well might lose that position again on penalties at the end of the race. Go and use absolutely everything that's left in the tank as we come round down penultimate corner. And we've absolutely left everyone else behind. 34-second lead on P4 from my position. Just 7 seconds behind the leader. Yeah, actually the leader changed. The race winner was granted to the AlphaTauri due to 3-second penalty of the Mercedes out front. So it will be a little bit annoyed about that, although the Mercedes does still get driver of the day there in P2. There we go. Final standings then for race 1 of the afternoon. P3 there from P12 on the grid, very happy with that. Teammate down in 7th, so Ferrari getting some good points there. 21 points for Ferrari. Mercedes will be top of the table if I'm not mistaken, looking at the results. Right, let's work out. So we've got 7 drivers in the lobby as it stands. A lot, with it being on the line, a lot do come and go throughout the races. So we'll just see what we get in terms of numbers up to 11 for Netherlands, which is the next race. Come on, there we go, there we go. We've got 16 drivers ready for this next race in Netherlands. I'm hoping most of these guys will stay with it, have just been racing at the front, because those 3 did leave the rest of the pack by 34 seconds. It'd be quite nice to yeah, to have a good consistent battle. There's Williams, who's finished in last in the last race, hence P20 after 1 race. These will all get mixed up. Anyone in red has left the session, so they do have points there, but they obviously won't score anymore because they've left the session now. They could rejoin to the session technically, but very doubtful. And then we've got a lot of new names for this next race. 15 drivers as it stands. I think we've got some spectators as well there, just spectating, which would be quite nice to see. Netherlands, not a track I overly get on with. I've not selected all my best tracks, even though I am the host. Nice little mixture. It's a good bit of practice for me for league racing with VRL Racing League. Racing every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday night. So only a Sunday that we don't have a league race. Obviously most people have maybe a night or two they might not attend for work commitments or other regards, but certainly a little bit of practice here and there. It goes quite a long way. I've not long come from Far Chase to camera view to TV pod as well, so trying to do some different tracks at the minute, just learning the little turn-ins, points and everything as such that goes with it, and obviously getting up to speed. More time spent on the track, the quicker you get. Right, let's just find my setup before we carry on. Netherlands, not drove this track in a while. In fact, it's a very old setup as well, so I'm not entirely sure what the setup is. I might need to have had a look at it, but a little bit late for that. One shot qualifying, 25% race again, as it will be all day. 6 races in total. We've had Bahrain race 1 where we finished P3. Zandvoort up now, and it will tie up in Abu Dhabi in roughly 2 hours time. So very happy with turn 1. A little bit of a twitch as we go through the left-hander there. Keep well clear of that curve, it does have a tendency to pull you in, as does this one. Sector 3, still a sector I can't quite nail. That 90-degree left-hander is the one that does have a tendency to catch us out. I'm not sure why, I've just always had that issue with it. Where do we go? I think we just missed out on pole position. We did get a purple sector 2 from the track map, which is quite nice, but we missed out. Oh, God, it's so tight up there. We are 4th. Driver of the race for the last race out has taken 3rd, and the winner of the last race has taken 5th. So, and we're all within a couple of tenths there. So it's going to be a very tightly packed race, hopefully in terms of pace. There we are, just 400ths off the pole time. 2 alphas taking P1, P2 on the grid, taking the front row lockout. If that was actually real life, that would be quite entertaining. Mercedes egg on the medium tyre. So if he was on the soft, he would have absolutely flown. I'm absolutely amazed to see him on the medium tyre there. But fair play to him if he's got that sort of pace. Should make it a very interesting race now. in terms of strategy. So just wait for it to load in. We'll have a look at the strategy. It is a 1 compulsory pit stop to be made. There we go, as we load in into the car. There we go, 18 laps, 8 on the soft, 10 on the medium. We'll push it an extra lap, so it's 9 and 9. I get lights out at Zandvoort. Whoa, okay, I was not expecting him to go that cautiously into turn 1 as the Alphas go side by side. Please don't close me completely down. Whoa.
Mind that front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
So we now start to defend from the Haas behind. We're just going to try and pop it down the inside. I think it's better of it, and I'm not surprised either. So quite a hard track to overtake on, to be honest. So you do rely on the DRS on the main straight. So I'm surprised there's been no safety car here at Zandvoort either. So we go purple in sector 2. No. Nope. Thought he'd leave me enough room. Just closes off. That's not fair rating whatsoever. But hey ho. And I think that might have given us wing damage as well. It's a little bit rocky, yeah. Definitely got wing damage there as well. Not going to help my case. So I won't bother using up too much fuel for the time being. As we just go a little bit defensive there as the car behind decides to dive into the back of our diffuser. I know it's Ferrari, I know it's bright red. Does mean you should be able to see it unless you're colourblind. So Racing Point just needs to learn to back off a little bit. I've just got to take a few slightly different lines with the front wing damage that we've picked up. Don't actually know how it's been caused as we see them two barging into each other, so we'll leave them two to it.
Virtual safety car deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Virtual safety car is deployed. Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
For a pit stop.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Now these mediums should actually go to the end. We do need a new front wing as well. So this is going to help us time wise. It will hopefully just counteract the time it takes for the front wing change. The VSC. Hopefully if we can get to the end of the pit lane
now. You'll be racing as you leave the
by
pits.
the time
exit now.
the virtual safety car comes in, that would be perfect timing.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Just as we say that, there we go. Safety car ending. Track goes green just as we exit. That is about as perfect as a virtual safety car can be for you. It does drop us down to 15th, but it does mean we've already made our pit stop.
DRS. DRS now available.
Car in front. Drive through penalty there as well. Now, next job is try and get these mediums to the end of the Grand Prix. Now that actually could be a little bit harder task. Taking them 16 a lap. I know the softs will go 10, so we should be alright. It just means they'll be very heavily worn by the end. But yeah, most of these cars in front now not battling as such, and that should have a very big pace advantage over. car in front is in AI as well, so it will be ghosted for us to drive through effectively. It means he's either left the session or paused. As I say that, he comes out of AI and goes in for the drive-through penalty. So we'll leave him to it. Take DRS though that he's granted us, which is nice. Gives a little bit of extra speed for a moment or two as we head up the start.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
Wouldn't expect anyone else to be pitting till around lap 8 now, so we can just make sure we're closing this gap, putting consistent laps in. We'll keep hold of a bit of spare fuel and energy for the time being.
Okay, clear.
Expect the fast lap to go to someone with soft tyres.
You have a 10-second lead over the car behind. Gap to car in front is 6.7 seconds.
So might actually end up with a fastest lap without actually pushing. .5 seconds to the car behind, as it does go fastest lap, and I'm just going to turn it up to max actually. Sorry, up to Rich. See if we can put a fastest lap in. It's a little bit more representative than just driving in a circle. Because I was not even pushing on that particular lap. So we'll use a little bit of energy on this lap out. See what we can do. I won't bother putting it in hot lap. Because I might well need that energy to fight those coming out of the pits in the very near future as we go deep. Not going to help, actually becomes a slower first sector. Certainly not going to be a fast lap, so we'll turn that back down, save the fuel load. They just put a wheel wrong, one wheel wrong, can be the difference. We were 8 seconds behind those in front after the pit stop. We're now just 3 seconds, and that's like dipped right into the 2s actually. So I think we're going to be on the back of these pretty soon.
Fuel target is +1.
Now these guys in front
Faster engine modes are available.
Should take a little bit of caution, but they potentially won't stop till lap 8, lap 9. So we don't want to get caught up in this battle or held up either. As we actually see a red X on them, so they are not in the race as it is. They've either left the session or pulled out. Yeah, to get the red X you've lost connection.
You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up.
With online racing you'll always get 4 or 5 per full
grid. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
I don't want a new strategy, I want to finish the race on these tyres, thank you, stupid pit wall. Really hard with the ghosted cars there to try and work out where the braking points are, but still managed to do it. Got quite a few cars that have actually left the session. Not that I'm overly complaining, because not only am I getting DRS from it, I can just drive straight through them and pick up 4 or 5 places here by the looks of it. So P5 after that pit stop. Now this is where we expect to be. Obviously those cars behind have left the session, so we've got 7 that have left the session. Our full grid of 20, so 7 of the cars driving around are ghosts because of that. Guys in front, 7.3 seconds, and they are on soft tyres, as is the car in front of that. So after they make their pit stops, I do believe we'll actually be on the podium, unless we have an issue later on in the race. drive for the line, see if we can take a slightly
The
quicker
gap
lap
to the
there.
car ahead is 5.6 seconds.
Just a tenth off, fastest lap again, so we'll keep it in rich. And these guys going in the pits, it's easier to defend here than it is
Caution, the virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
Need to back off for VSC, don't know quite what's happened. Don't know whether it's an incident for these cars in front or it's the AI cars, but we'll soon find out. There we go, shorty. I think it was one of the back runners anyway.
Illegal manoeuvre, cede that position or we'll receive a penalty.
Gotta let him
Virtual
back,
safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
Because he's gone off track, it's fine, but I have now lost
VSC
5
ending. We're
seconds
going
because
green.
of that.
Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Drive through penalty for P3. Got to close that gap back down to P4. Although again, they've still got
clear.
I'd expect them in the pits this lap or the next. As we see P3 drop into the pits, he's got to drive through. I think this is drive through penalty. So we'll just turn back up into standard fuel mixture for the time being. A little bit of VRS as well to use, so we'll use that.
In this lap,
we are
push
not
now.
Boxing again, so we'll ignore that call. No need to box again in this race. If there was another VSC later on, we certainly could look at a box, but not for the time being. Are we still in P? Hang on a minute. They were in the pit stop ahead. Where have I lost the positioning? .6.
Our gap to the car in front is 6.3 seconds.
We're reeling them in as they fight. Also, P4 as it stands has got to pit. There we go, as we say that, he does pit. I think they're both in the pit actually. No, that's the Alpha and the Red Bull in the pit. That puts us into P3. P2 is driving on hard tyres. So I'd like to get him, and potentially P1 is actually driving with 3-second penalty on the same tyre compound. Now I don't know when he pit. Should be quite interesting to know. Obviously I can't sadly get that information while I'm driving. Needs to be a spectator that does that, but if I can get inside that 3-second window, we could steal his win away here today. Which would be nice. I've never actually won at Zandvoort. In fact, I've never had a podium at Zandvoort, online or in a league race. In fact, in a league race, I've only had one podium, which was Mexico, not that long ago, about 2 weeks ago. Had quite a few P4s lately though, which has been really annoying to get that close. So ignore the blue delta line, it does want me to pit. I'm not entirely sure why, but certainly not planning on pitting for the remainder of the race. It does mean be a bit slow towards the very end, but nothing that we can't deal with on the track. 5.8 to the car in front, so it's slowly starting to bring that time down, but obviously the best of these tyres getting used up now, so we want to get a move on with it if we're going to chase them down.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.8 seconds.
Now the other advantage we have got now as well is the car behind is 9 seconds behind, but also has 8 seconds worth of penalties, so he would have to get quite well up the road if he did catch us and pass. So not overly worried about that fight from behind either. And the car behind that 21 seconds back on the road. So the top three is more so a question of who and in which order than if anyone else can challenge to get the podium, unless there is a mistake from one of the top three. So we pick up a warning for corner cutting there. It's just a little bit heavy into the corner. So for the first time we just managed to get sights on a car in front. I don't think it's the car we're actually fighting. No, it's not. It's actually a Mercedes we can see, but if we can close up to him, get a little bit of DRS help, that very well could help us in the fight for P2. Get us a little bit closer. It is a ghosted car, the Mercedes. Don't think it's going to trigger DRS because of where we've caught him, sadly. Would be nice. Or just a little bit of a save there as the
gap to car in front is 5.7 seconds.
As these tyres are absolutely dropped off a cliff, which is very weird considering that they're only about 35%. Doesn't mean I'm having to avoid pretty much every single curb, but I'm not going to pit and lose position because to get that
yellow
back
flag
would be extremely hard.
Caution, caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens.
I think that Renault that's just been off in turn 1, same Renault that went off earlier on as well. Not only are we doing all this, we are also running with a broken front wing.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
So to be
green flag,
staying fairly stable to the car in front, I think might just had a spin, so we took 2 seconds out of him. We might just had a minor spin on this corner, wouldn't surprise me. Knowing the corner very well.
We're at +1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target +1.
We'll use up what we've got of fuel as well. See if we can reel him into that 3-second window if he does pick up a penalty in the last few laps. Obviously we haven't got one as of yet, but we have had a warning. So we've got to be careful not to put a foot wrong ourselves as well while trying to close this gap down. Got quite a lot of ERS as we lose it there completely. Didn't pick up any more damage thankfully, but that has just given the breathing room that he needed. Only cost us a second thankfully, and we're lucky not to DNF the car there. I do think we might need to bail here and jump in the pits. We should be able to bail, pit, come out on new soft tyres and be...
Understood, stopping this lap.
Yes, it's got soft tyres for us, we've got no grip. I am going to turn it off, that does not... It's going to do my wing, isn't it? No, it's not.
Release, release.
There we go. Right, so it will drop us into P4, I believe. Or will it?
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Stay ahead somehow. I was going to say, if it does drops into P4, he has got 11 seconds of penalties, but it hasn't dropped into P4, it's kept us in P3. So we'll take this out lap, nice and steady. Save a little bit of energy actually through it as well. And then we're going to go for
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Our gap behind is 7.3 seconds.
Okay, so fastest lap definitely coming to us through this section. A little bit of ERS down the back straight. There we go. I only managed to go green in the
we pretty much
middle
burned
sector.
off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down.
And into the final corner. Okay, so it'll definitely be a fastest lap by 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone else has gone. Sub 112 lap there, which is actually the same pace we did qualification lap on. Shows how much quicker getting as we get to know this TV pod view. 17 seconds behind the car in front, obviously gain right rate in knots, but we won't touch that. Obviously we were behind anyway, and the likelihood of catching on those very, very used medium tyres was pretty much zero unless he made a mistake, which doesn't seem to have done. We weren't in the 3-second window of him either. So yes, we're getting a little breathing room, but we have picked up that 1 extra point for fastest lap. I don't think there's anyone out there now that can go and challenge for fastest lap if they're on it now. I think everyone is on used mediums hards. So we come round the penultimate corner into the last corner here at Zandvoort. But quite a dominant race, only one not to get penalties out of the top 3. We come out in 3rd place with fastest lap to 1:11.9, sub 12-second gap. No, sub 1:12, sorry. There we go. Scobus jumps up into 4th. I think that's all because of penalties. Obviously he won the last one out, so good to see him actually finish. Now, driver of the day from the last race was Aziar Mori. He was finished in 2nd. He's now in 19th on this race. It's a very big difference. There we go. P3. Definitely won't get driver of the day because it's all done sadly on who gains the most places, which is weird. But as we started in, we started 4th place, maybe. Yeah. Won't give us driver of the day. Okay, so podium P3 yet again. There we are. And fastest lap by well over a second there. Current standings, there you go. Scobus in the lead on 37 points after his win last time out. Myself in second with 31, just 6 points behind. It's definitely a little battle going to be coming on here. In the Constructors, Ferrari pretty much relying on myself. AlphaTauri relying on himself, and actually drawn in second, so yeah, definitely quite interesting as this goes on. I'm just going to have a moment to get my breath back as we wait for the next race to load. Right, how are we looking? Hungary, 20 drivers again, loaded up, yep. 12 of which are readied up, so countdown time has begun. Yep, all cars filled. Still sat in the Ferrari. I have got a teammate now, so it'll be quite nice to see if we can get some points. So that's how the calendar is looking. Got third at Bahrain and Netherlands, got Hungary this time out, followed by Brazil, Austria and Abu Dhabi as the classic finish to any season, as it stands for the last few years. Let's get a setup on to begin with. Hungary race we haven't done in the league for a little while. I don't normally do too bad there. I'm normally very, very slow on qualifying pace for some reason at Hungary, as I am at a lot of places, to be fair. But Hungary seem to be well off the pace for qualifying, but in the race I do tend to get on fairly well. As we hit that, I'll just have a quick look through and just see if there's anything else I can play with. No, I'm quite happy with all that, to be fair. So we go to track and just wait for this one-shot qualifying for the Hungaroring. Again, this is another one I haven't done on board in TV pod view since switching to TV pod, so this is another track I'm now got to learn in this view. Nearly ran it wide. That would have disqualified us. Well, no, it wouldn't. It would have, yeah, disqualified us for track limits for qualifying. That's the only downside to one-shot qualifying, but it does make it more realistic. It's all or nothing. That must have been right on the cusp around that. There's the line, there it is. We went purple sector 3. Was that good enough for pole position? 116, I'd be very, very surprised. P2, just outside. It must have been close if we got a purple final sector there. Just over a tenth outside. Again, the pole setter on medium tyres. Not expected at all. Ferrari teammate down in P9. Scobus, who we're having a little bit of battle with in the standings, half a second off the pace down in P4. Be interesting to see if he can come back through. Yeah, it could be quite an interesting session, this one. As you see by that, some of those quicker drivers are actually out due to track limits. So they are starting in the back couple of cars. Obviously on a full grid of 20 people, that's not what you want. So how important it is to get a lap in, even if you do have a mistake. If you can finish your lap validly, it will potentially still gain you 4 or 5 positions. Go race strategy 6 and 12, quite an extreme strategy. So it's a very, very dark race by the looks of it, although it's set to clear and dry sessions. Yeah, very odd to see it as dark as this. Now, one advantage we will have is the pole sitter. As we can just see him up there, is on medium tyres. Hopefully we'll get a better start. 5 lights. Lights out the Hungary. There we are. A little bit less wheel spin by the looks of it than on the medium. Don't try and come up the inside there. Just stupid. Fair play, you just about give me enough room at the end, but I was not expecting you to even contemplate it around there. He's trying to go down the inside in very stupid places, actually. It's quite annoying. But we'll play the long game with him. And I think he realises that we're both on very equal pace.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
Try and just put him under a little bit of pressure if we can get him to run a couple of curbs and pick up a 3-second penalty at this early stage. That would certainly help us out. But at the same time, I've got to do it and keep myself in the track limits. A little bit of a wheel spin there. Well, it seems very clean. 20 cars still in it after lap 1. No safety car either. In fact, I didn't even see a yellow flag. I think the closest anyone came to contact was myself and Scobus. Obviously, a very firm first part of the first lap, knowing that we are now basically B-title contenders in this little mini league we've got set up here. This is race 3 of 6 as well. It's got quite a way to go. Let's see if he can stick out all 6 races with us, which would be quite nice. Aim is podiums on all these races. We've had just about hung on to the podium on the last 2. But we'll see how we get on. We'll just lose a little bit of time there in that last sector.
Okay, clear. DRS is now enabled.
We'll just try and close that gap up to make sure we do stick in that 1 second gap to pick up the DRS where it's available. Obviously, this DRS here is to take it off the final corner DRS detection zone, which also detects the main straight. So if you're inside there, you will get DRS at both points. Here's this sector 2, he does seem a little bit slower than us. Well, great exit there, but we'll stick with him, see if we can keep this pressure on, keep inside the 1 second window. Obviously we want that DRS detection point to flag up. There we go, so DRS down the main straight. He also has DRS on the car in front though.
You'll be on the mediums.
Let's break down into turn 1. Try and get a good run out of here as we get the DRS
The car behind has
again.
started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to
An
form.
argument happening up at the front there as well, as we all come to join the battle now for the race lead. Just about keeping it in. Oh, that was to be a bit careful there because I wasn't quite sure what was going on.
Green flag.
There's 2 title protagonists as it stands at the minute, now running P1, P2. I wouldn't be surprised if that Renault wants to try and get back past. I think it was a genuine mistake that caused his slide, just as we saw Jay also do exactly the same thing about 2 corners later. Hopefully those guys can run away a little bit here though. See if we can get a little bit of breathing room. DRS enabled once again. Competition behind also has DRS, but obviously counteracted by us having it. He knows we're going to be eyeing him up here. He runs wide. It's not really a place you can capitalise on much, although we do get a warning there for corner point. Definitely don't want to be picking that penalty up today. But he's so cautious into that chicane every lap. Just probably a little bit wary of my braking zone. Make sure we don't cause a collision or damage our front wing because of it. It certainly impact sector 2 through the S's.
Caution, caution.
Got the yellow flags ahead. We are actually catching back marks already, which is impressive after just 5 laps. As he bails into the box, there we go, we've got free air. That is DRS, we are now on a push lap then.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
Try and
Okay, clear.
see what we can do. There we go, drop into the box then. This is going to be, did I do a good enough out in lap to keep clear of him? Where
Complete,
is he
go
on the
now.
track? What car was he in? I can't actually remember. A few people will overtake us here, but
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
He's in AlphaTauri, I know that much. But I think he's in traffic, in fact, going into turn 1. I think we've really outdone him there and managed to get that place through the pit stops. That was the one and only stop. So now he's got it all to do on the track. And with us being so evenly paced, I'll be quite interested to see whether he actually manages it or not. So we've just got a blank runner here, we'll get straight past him. Any of these going to box now? Yeah, there we go, P2 coming into the box. I think the race leader is also due to box, because he certainly wasn't in the race lead. See what we can do now. See, teammate comes into the pit. It's obviously knowing that I pit last lap, he wouldn't have done it. Double box just does not work on the game. It is very, very slow normally. See, is that a Renault there or a McLaren? Renault gone P5 with past lap. I won't mind that fast lap point, so might put a little bit of pressure on. We are running in P2 as well, so depending on how much pressure we can put on P1, I'll say now he's got 12 seconds of penalties as well, and we're inside that already and closing, so wouldn't mind a win and fastest lap. That would be quite nice. So I think might be the best opportunity for it as we go personal best first and second sectors. Don't know how far off the fastest lap that might be. Might just be a 10th off for all I know. Obviously we are running on standard as well, so if this was the fastest lap I'd be shocked. No, it's not. I would be shocked if that did turn into a fastest lap. Ah, there we are. So our AlphaTauri friend,
you're pulling out a second lap on the car behind.
He's now 7 seconds behind as it stands. He is 2 places behind, but he has also got 1 car in Sanji to deal with, so it might slow him down a little bit. So the overcut here has certainly worked better than the undercut, as he's now experiencing, and he won't be overly happy, I don't think, see me quite such a distance in front, knowing that we're very similarly paced.
Green flag.
Difference at the minute, 8.3. Oh no, he's got through, he's got past him already. Bugger, I was hoping he would be held up a little bit more than that. 7.5 seconds then to play with from Scobus. Obviously we've got the race leader to pit still, which will put us in P1, but that is only based on title rival there in P3 staying down behind us. That was the fastest lap without actually trying. Wasn't expecting that. A little bit of wheel spin out turn 1. So we're just starting to get on the back of the interval race leader. He will be due to pit any lap now, with us being on lap 10. Expect him to go on to the soft tyre to the end. Although if we can just sit into his DRS into that 1 second zone as we approach the DRS detection zone towards the end of the lap. That would give us a little bit of benefit on our rival behind. He's 7.6 behind, 7.7 behind, so it sort of hovers, so he's not making any inroad into that time at the moment with 8 laps remaining. So we're coming up to the DRS detection point. Don't want to overtake him before that, as that is not safe. Why is he braking so much there?
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
It is now going to want us to box, but as long as we don't lose any time,
Copy.
I'll try and stay out, to be completely honest. He's got a lot more in the way of penalties and everything as well. It's not ideal for us though to... No, this is horrible with a broken front wing. That might just force me into a pit stop. P4, where are they? I think it is actually, you're going to have to stay out. So if we did box, I think it would cost us that much time that we might even end up off the podium. Just keep an eye on that Delta 2 Scobus behind. So we get a second warning, could pick up a penalty here if we're not careful. There we go, he's finally boxed. Let's go with catching, he's 6 seconds behind that. He's going to smell the top step, he's definitely working on it, as we have fastest lap ripped from us by Renault on hard tyres. Very strange. So to do with the AlphaTauri now having just a little bit of a cock up would be absolutely brilliant for us. Uh, 5.4 seconds, yeah, he's closing at a rate of knots through that middle sector, especially through the S's. 4/10 he's taken out was there actually, which is absolutely massive. But we are holding the gap, so as long as we don't pick up a penalty, we should be alright.
Gap to teammate behind is 41.5 seconds.
Stands. Not much in the way of ERS available.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
We're 5.2. He's just making a slight indentation into that lead we've got now for the race. Obviously, if we do overdo track limits at any point now, it will result in a 3-second penalty as well. Gap to only 4.9 and drop into the car behind. So just got to be a little bit cautious in that these corners, because if we do pick that up, I don't think we're going to end up keeping this position. There's 5 laps to go, including the one that we are on. 4.8 seconds to play with the car behind. We've got no more warnings available, no more ERS. .5 seconds, he's taking a good chunk out of us there again.
Full course caution, the safety car is out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
I think we might take the new strategy option there. And why not? Just go for a sprint at the end. It will probably drop us into...
Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Yeah, we'll drop us into P2. Just make sure we've got a green delta as we enter the pit lane. There we go. So it drops into P2, fresh soft tyres to the end. We have got broken front wing. There's the race leader going through. Next car on track coming round the penultimate corner now. New wing.
Go, go, go.
As actually P3 comes into it, it's going to keep us in P2. Where is he? Is he that Red Bull? No, he can't be. Yeah, he jumps us, but we could do with him out of the way pretty quick, because obviously we are now on soft tyres. He is on very, very used tyres, and on 18 seconds of penalties. If it's not careful, he'll actually get disqualified from the session.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
So we'll drop it into lean. Try save up a little bit of fuel. We'll also try and build up some ERS as well while we're in this train. Now all these cars are lapped. I could really do with moving out of the way, because they are allowed to pass. And it's putting me quite a distance behind the race leader, which is actually not ideal for this little battle we've got going on. So lap 15 now. Safety car won't be in this lap. I expect it to be in on the next lap. So that will give us just 2 laps sprint to the end on what are new soft tyres for myself and the car behind. Car in front doesn't overly matter because he's on 18 seconds of penalties. He will drop behind us anyway. These back runners are going to be right in our way here for the restart. Got to watch for the Renault on the restart as well. He's got no penalties either, so he's got nothing to lose. We have got a lot to lose here. Scobus there on the medium used tyre. He's been on since lap 8. He came into the pits. Will you please go? Don't know what idiots think. What is he doing? That's just cost me this race because of a 5-second penalty. I'm going to go skip.
Alright, so we've been looking at the damage and we think you should be okay to continue. It'll cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race. Give that position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake. Return the position.
That has just ruined our chances at a win.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
I don't get why people find it so hard to be under a safety car and follow. So that's a brake test, and that's just completely wrecked
Return
our
the position
race.
immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety
He's
car
going to
period.
know he needs 5 seconds as well. That I can pass and take 5 seconds.
Okay, clear.
Right, let's go for it. So I've got to pull 5 seconds on the car behind
Yellow
to keep
flag.
P2. And if I want the race win, well, it's going to be very, very hard to do now.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10.
So I've got broken front wing.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Still closing the car down in front. Almost flat through sector 2. 1 lap to do this. I think it's going to drop us off the podium because of that idiot brake testing us during the safety car. He's going to try and dive it inside it.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
Right, let's go defensive. Make him run around the outside. It's going to push him, but he's out of it. Was our racing line to hold. Final lap. This broken wing is not doing us any favours in the corners though. Don't try it around this corner. That would be very, 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 very stupid. He knows he's got the position anyway because I've got a 5-second penalty. So if he wasn't,
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
For fact sake, I've just picked up a penalty late. Absolute idiot. There we go. That's exactly what I expected. So it doesn't only ruin the race, it will also knock us off the podium, and obviously the title battle with Scobus is now a little bit hard to track down because it's going to drop us at least 4 or 5 positions because that's a late safety car. It's alright though, he won't be in the next race because he'll be kicked from the lobby. There we go. Around P7, P8, P9. I don't think we're going to pick anything because of that. Yep, that was not what we expected. Let's wait for that results to load up and then we'll go back to the lobby and remove those that openly causing incidents. There's a double podium for Renault, although one of them's about to be kicked from the session. Just take it back to saying that I think he's actually left the session anyway, so it's fine. Makes it a little bit easier on us. Oh, we've got 7, 8 drivers ready. We've got a full grid again. 4 spectators. They must be people not actually. Wait, let's have a look. There we go. Someone just messaged in saying, can you restart the championship so we get the red names out? How about no? That's all well and good, but no, I'm not restarting the championship. So 3 races down, second in championship due to the idiot that took us out on that last race, which dropped us to a P8, which was really annoying from what should have been a P3. I like the fact he actually took himself out of the session rather than waiting to get kicked. Which was quite entertaining, personally. Let's have a look. Brazil, quite enjoy it here. However, I would really like the pole position here. Yeah. This track relies on a good pole position, ideally. And as we go over the line, let's try and get this lap in. I want to avoid any contact at turn 1. Fairly good sector 1. It hasn't gone purple, so there is someone out there going quicker. There's a slight mess up at the end of. There we go. Where did we come? We weren't far off. I think in the top 5 maybe. 3rd, yeah. That'll do. That'll do nicely. Yeah, just 8/10 off there. Only 5 people managed to put in a qualifying time. There we go. Let's see how my luck sits for Brazil. Hopefully have a little bit more luck than we did in the last race with other idiot drivers, effectively. Shall we call it that? Yeah, we'll call it that. Race strategy, pretty much soft to medium, as it is for all 25% races. Alright, full grid pretty much, 20 cars. We're in P3. It is Brazil at the Interlagos circuit. Personally, one of my absolute favourites. Certainly in the top 3. There we are. 4, 5 lights. Lights out, away we go. One jump start there is drive through penalty, as he needs to move out of my way very quickly. And has managed to break my front wing in the process of that, so I'm really not overly impressed, although we'll let each other take themselves out. There we go, 2 racing points taking themselves out into turn 2. We'll try and take the run into
Be careful with the front wing,
4.
you've taken some minor damage.
There. So we take the inside line, they might try and sweep around the outside. Red Bull there right behind us, trying to take a little dive. Racing points absolutely all over the place now. We'll let the Red Bull go, we're not going to fight that too hard at this stage of the race. Try and keep it clean, tidy. We have got a broken front wing, so we can't overly fight, which is a little bit annoying. Drops us down to P4 from the start. Probably going to lose another position or 2 potentially. See the Red Bull get all out of sorts there at the exit of the sector 2 as we head up the hill for the first time. Across where the DRS line is for when DRS is enabled. Lap 3, we've got a good run on the Red Bull into turn 1. We'll try and send it around the outside so he completely closed the door on us. But he did have a line at the time, so it's all fair. So he's going to have to go more than defensive now to try and hold this position. You do need to give a car's width though, matey, I'm afraid. You might not want to, but it's the rules. The thing annoying about online compared to league racing is if there's not a car's width, it can be appealed. On here it can't be. And he's already picked up a 3-second time penalty as well there. And downside is we have got to have a front wing change when we do eventually come in for our pit stop. If we can drag it out to lap 10, I might go for an earlier pit stop, go for the undercut. New
Green
front
flag.
wing and medium tyres. We're getting attacked
Okay,
from the rear
DRS
by
is now available.
Williams. I would say he's going to think better of it if he's got any brain cells. That is definitely a dive bomb. He actually lost his winglet through that as well, so he's not done himself any favours. So he could pit now for the mediums and take him to the end, but obviously they'd be pretty well used for the end of the Grand Prix. But we do have the broken front wing, so rather than go into lap 10 for our pit stop, we will look at an earlier opportunity. If there is a VSC or anything around now, that would be absolutely perfect for us. Few gaps in the pack starting to open up as well, just trying to keep an eye on them.
increasing our gap on the car behind by
4.9,
around
5
a second a
seconds
lap.
front of the car behind, so we are pulling away from the car behind, even though we've got a broken front wing. So definitely worth staying out for the time being on this tyre as we go a little bit wide there. Get a warning there for exceeding track limits. Both cars in front now with 3-second time penalties. I don't know about the two leaders. Looks like the Renault from the track map's got about 3 or 4 second lead over P2. Car behind dropped by another half second through sector 2 there. So we are pulling away. Sanji was very, very fast in the last race out, so we'll keep an eye on his times as well as he goes into P6. If he does start to close that gap down,
the gap to the car ahead is 2.3 seconds.
Box on this lap. As at the minute, he actually seems to be falling backwards, which is quite a surprise. We are only running standard as well for the time being. We've got a Red Bull
safety car deployed. The safety car has been deployed.
Exactly what we
Watch your
wanted.
delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
There we go. We'll use this opportunity. That is exactly what we wanted. To be honest, I don't know quite what happened to the Red Bull. But thank you very much, Red Bull, Christian Horner, team principal in real life. But we'll thank you anyway, because their strategies do seem to benefit every other team but themselves at the minute. And if anyone has been watching, see Sanji behind as well. One of the threats I was talking about picks up a 3-second time penalty. Go and into the pits for our medium tyres. Take us to the end of the Grand Prix. It looks like a lot of people are heading into the pits. Now we have got this front wing change, but this will neutralise that ever slightly for us.
Go now.
A little bit of traffic, wait for the McLaren there to come into the pits. Absolutely full pit lane behind us going on. It is absolutely manic. We'll drop it down the order. I'm surprised no
Up to speed
more
now.
have actually.
Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Under. It looks like there's some there with red X's, so they've obviously left this session. Yeah, so we're back out on the track then. Get these mediums up to speed. Now these guys on softs in front are cars that are now not in the race, these with the red X's, which seems to be quite a long train of them. As we see one of them go into the gravel. Very odd. Sanji right behind us. He's got his 3-second penalty. Car in front, 5-second penalty, but it is a ghosted car that has left the session. As is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do think this will actually put us up to roughly P4, P5 after the restart. Once we do manage to get past all this lot, now they might box this lap, but I don't think they will. I'd expect the safety car to be in after the next lap, and then we're looking around 12 laps of racing to the end, see if we can have 12 laps of clean racing. We are going to have a fight behind from Sanji. Florian also took fastest lap on the last race, so we will have to bear that in mind as well. He also got drive of the race as well.
Return the position immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety car period.
Let's try and heat these tyres up a little bit. They are a little bit cold. That is not what we want. Oof. So we nearly take the eye off the ball a bit. This is actually ridiculously slow. To the point, how are you supposed to heat your tyres up? So safety car should be in this lap, it should come up on the display at any point. Trying to get some heat in these tyres.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap.
He takes an illegal overtake or 3. He does need to give those places back.
Give that position back. We are under safety car conditions and cannot overtake. Return the position.
Right, Florian
clear.
needs kicking. That's ridiculous. Gonna get through. Not only am I going to get through, make sure he doesn't get that fucking corner. No. Absolute moron. He's damaged his own chances there by taking his front wing. No, what he was thinking, I was like, oh, what is going on in the background? I see a McLaren drive across. I think that might be Sanji because he's disappeared. Right, are these all unavailable cars? Yeah, they are. So the one at the front is the one we're targeting. He says as we were off the track. These guys don't know the meaning of friggin' clean racing.
Are you okay?
Wow.
That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
A lot of those guys still to stop actually, looking around it. P4, P5, Florian is kicking. To be honest, I am going to leave the session.